So we're here at Queensbury Church to go up the church tower for the open day. So we'll see what we can see from up there, which is quite a bit actually, really, all sold. So that should be a bit of fun.
Holy Trinity Church was built in 1845, although 1844 is mentioned inside. The church tower is 80 feet. It contains a clock and 8 bells.
So this church tower is supposed to be about 80 feet. That's to the pinnacles of the roof, but that's what we're going to do today. As is the church clock chiming. So what can we see from up there? Well, no pun, we'll see. The list of the people who survived the First World War.
My great granddad is mentioned on there. This is the ringing room. Contains 8 ropes. Each rope has a woolen part, which is the sally, coming from an old English word to leap forward. The lightest bell is the treble, and the heaviest bell, which weighs 3/4 of a ton, is the tenor. It is the tenor that the hammer strikes to chime the clock for the hours. This is a spider, which holds up the ropes. In this case it has 8 ropes, but it can have less. I presume it's called a spider because it sits at the centre of the ropes like a spider at the centre of a web. These are the bells. You'll notice that one has been rung up. From that position it can be rung in change ringing. The others are still hanging down, and therefore not ready for use. This is the clock mechanism, which powers 4 faces. The pendulum is incredibly heavy. It's electrified in 1965. It was installed in 1885 by John Speake. Made by W. Potts and Sons, Leeds. This is one of the faces from the inside. Looking west, over an area called West End. The Catholic Church, Russell Hall School. Looking straight down on the main entrance to the church. Now we're looking north, over an area of housing. And these houses are Granby Fields. Now looking south, there's the old upper school, Russell Hall Park, looking over to Shibden. This is looking east, again Granby Fields, the Black Dyke Mills where the Foster family who installed the bells lived. The cracking sound is the rope on the flagpole.
The bells in this church were donated mostly, if not all, by the Fosters, and this is where quite a few of them are buried. Now the clock was donated by their rivals at Mountain Mill, the Speaks, which are there. They're there, now they're there. That's who donated the clock in this tower in 1885. Members of that family. Grave of the Reverend John Carter. Do I can speak? John Carter Hyatt. He was vicar of this parish for 48 years, it says. 49, 50, something like that. Anyway, it depends on whether you include in the time he spent as a curate, which I think he was the second curate, third vicar, and the longest serving at 48 years. None of them have done more than that. His wife, Fanny Griselda Hyatt, is also sorry, is also buried there, and at the other end are two of his daughters. I don't know whether we can actually read any of their names, so we'll have a look. Oh dear! No, I can't read that one. No. See if we can see this one. No. Sort of, but not quite. So 1885 also saw the erection of this end of the church. Don't know if that had any effect. It's slightly up anyway a bit, but
This is what Holy Trinity looked like originally. The picture is inside the church.
and the grave of the Reverend Canon Frederick Charles Foote, who was, did we say 7th or 8th last time? Last vicar. Unfortunately he was ill and died, so
We'll head back inside the church now and have a look at some of the inside, although there is a spring fair taking place, and the video will end with some of the footage from the second trip up the tower.
in again.
This is the chancel. One of several stained glass windows, and quite a colourful one. The organ. The pulpit. The font. A memorial to one of the Foster family. the royal arms of Queen Victoria.
That way, of course, is in the north towards the west.
Yeah, yeah.
And that way, you can see from the back, pressures started to the back.
Yeah, yeah, see, yeah, yeah. There's one or two follies in there. Anyway.
Yeah, well, that's to the back.
Yeah, well, there should be tell.
Yeah, it's a real big bank. Yes, no, not Farlandale, it's Monmouth Hill. Yeah, you can see them off there now. Yes, right, so yeah, there's four, I think, you can actually see. Yeah, sometimes you can see a 3 or 4.